Hey fishy people, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about something that's a little controversial. That is preset aquarium heaters here. Some people love them, some people hate them. I personally use them in several tanks. So I'm going to talk a little about them, what I like, what I don't like, and we're going to get right into this. So I guess the first question we should ask is, do preset aquarium heaters actually work? And the answer to that is yes. I'm going to put a question mark on the end of that because it depends on what you're doing, what your environment is, and how big your tank is. So for me, I live in the Northeast. It gets cold here, it gets hot here. For the most part, my room is 60 degrees or below year round because I either have a window open in the winter, blowing cold air in, or have an air conditioner going set at 60. So if they work for me, they'll probably work for other people that have, live in other colder areas. That also, is dependent on the tank size. I keep them in 5 gallons or below. My 10-gallon tank has a regular adjustable thermostat in it. I do not trust a preset in that one. So I have 2.5s with presets. I have a 5-gallon with a preset and a 6-gallon. 6-gallon is also fine. It stays at a nice temperature. I actually tried using a small adjustable one in that, and it ended up going bad after a couple months of using it. So I went with a preset, and it's been fine ever since. The biggest thing people don't like about preset heaters is sometimes the automatic shutoff doesn't work, and with presets basically stay on until they hit a certain point. So most of your presets are going to be preset to stay at about 76 or 78 degrees Fahrenheit, plus or minus 2 degrees. So it really varies depending on the ambient temperature of the room you're in. So during the winter months, I have a window that's open constantly. My room is probably low 60s, and I have presets in 2.5s and 5 gallons that are all set to 78 plus or minus 2 degrees. Now those tanks stay at 78 to 80 depending on where they are in the room. So the ones that are closer to my computer, which pumps out a lot of heat, tend to stay closer on the 80 side. The one directly below my window, I have never seen that thermometer dip below 76 degrees. Even when it's, 30 degrees out and I'm pumping cold air in the bedroom. So the ones I use seem to hold pretty true to their, preset temperature plus or minus 2 degrees. I have seen my tanks get warmer in the summertime if I leave the AC off. But again, that's just because the ambient temperature in the room goes up. So even in summer, I've got the air going usually, so it's going to stay around 60, 62 in my room. And even with that blowing, they stay about 80. Sometimes they'll get up to 82, but again, that's closer to my computer, so that part of the room's hotter anyway. So some of the negatives about the preset heaters is in the name. It's preset, which means if you need something that's lower than what it's set at, you unfortunately cannot tweak it. So if you need to set a tank for a lower temperature than 78, you're definitely going to want to get an adjustable heater because then you can tweak it as you need to. I personally use most of these on my betta tanks, so having them at that 78 plus or minus 2 is kind of perfect. And again, they're smaller tanks, and finding an adjustable heater for a smaller tank is on the more difficult side. So this Tetra heater right here is rated for a 2 to 10 gallon aquarium. It is a 50 watt heater. Usually rule of thumb is 5 watts per gallon. So for a 50 watt, you'd be looking at a maximum of a 10 gallon aquarium. Would I put this in a 10 gallon aquarium? No, I would not. I would not recommend a preset in anything over 5 gallons. 5 gallons is probably the max that I would feel comfortable putting a preset in. Besides the Tetras, I have also found one on Amazon that is in more tanks than the Tetras. I currently only use one of these Tetra heaters in a tank. Or no, two. I have one in a 2.5 and then one in a 5 gallon in my basement. My basement is colder. It stays between 50 and 60. That water stays at 80 degrees and it is on an exterior wall. So I trust the Tetra to keep the water a little bit warmer. Now the other heaters I've used from Amazon are Zalim. They are 25 watt heaters which again I use in 2.5s and 5 gallons. 5 gallon being the max of their range. And again, I'm looking at those tanks right now. It's sitting at 78 degrees. They're a plus or minus 78 degree. They say 73 to 82 on the listing. I have seen them stay perfectly at that 78 even with colder temperatures. So these are the two I would recommend. I've gotten Aquariums before, and usually they are broken when I've ordered them or got them at PetSmart. So I'm going to say don't get an Aquarium, but that's based on my personal preference. I'm sure some people out there have gotten them and love them. The ones I've gotten have all been broken. The glass has been shattered or cracked in some way. And, you know, when you get shattered glass, it's not a good thing for your heater. Setup wise for these is, you know, brain dead. Open box, take out of box, undo cord, stick in tank, suction to glass, plug in. When you plug it in, a little red light or green light's going to come on depending on what kind you have. The Tetras, a little red light comes on letting you know it's ready, and when it turns green, it hits that temperature that you need. My other ones, a little red light comes on at the top of it, and when it gets to the right temperature, the light shuts off. So setting these up is simple. No maintenance really, just keep a thermometer in your tank and just make sure you know you're within that range. Like I said, most of these are going to be rated for 72 to 83-ish, but they have a preset of 78 plus or minus 2. So as long as you're within like 76 to 80, you're probably going to be fine. There's going to be nothing wrong with your heater. If you notice the temperature going down, unplug it, plug it back in, see if the light pops on. If it doesn't, it's probably dead. You got to buy another one. But they're super cheap. I think you can get them between like 15 to 20 bucks to get another one. And so when you get them, I always get 2 when I order one, so I always have an extra on hand. Other than that, there's really no crazy stuff you got to do with these presets heaters. So who would I not recommend presets to? I would not recommend presets to anyone that's got anything over a 5. Yes, I said I have one in a 6. You probably can push it like with this Tetra one up to a 10 gallon, but if me personally, 10 gallons, you can fit a regular heater in there, so why bother? So I would say anything from, you know, a bowl, a gallon bowl, up to 6, maybe an 8 gallon tank, but I personally have only tried them in 6s. So 2.5s, 5 gallons, prefer betta fish. They don't take up a lot of your space in your tank. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, please remember to like, comment, subscribe if you have not yet. Even if you didn't like the video, give it a dislike so I know you guys don't like this kind of thing. And I hope you're enjoying daily uploads. I know it's going to be hard to try and keep that up, but I am confident that I can get a bunch of videos stored up and upload once a day for 365 days of fish keeping, as that is my 2022 goal. So thank you all for the continued support, and I will catch you guys in the next video.